In a deserted street, we see a lone walker growling in the street. He walks before turning around. He sees a small group of other infected coming from the woods and walks over to them. He joins them as they all walk together. The dead all walk as one, before noticing something. A loud clomping sound was heard and getting louder when suddenly a group of men ride on horses. The walker turns around when he is sliced in the head, killing him. In a flash, a half a dozen men on horses race past them, killing them all. They swing down their blades, cutting them all down. The zombies all drop dead to the ground. We then see the men arrive at some small building. They slowly get off of their horses. We see the first one, being Chris. "Nice work out there, fellas." He pulled out a journal. He then took a pen and started writing down on it. "There were 7 infected on Road 17W and 12 on Road 3N, he told him. "The infected have been piling up a lot more lately," a man said. "Really looks like the dead are mass Xing out of the cities," he said. "Is that even a word?" Chris asked. The man wasn't sure. "But you're right. If we're going to keep making the road secure, we'll need more patrolmen," he stated. "And how do we do that?" he asked. "I can try talking to Benjamin, see if he can get us more guys on the roads." Inside the house, Dylan was sitting on his bed, looking at a photo. There was him, his brother, and parents, and an unknown other woman. He looked at it, kind of sad. "Hey, Dylan, Sean is waiting for us outside," he told him. "Oh, yeah, sorry," he told him. "What are you doing?" his brother asked. "Just looking at this old photo," he told him. "Wait, is that... Well, this is from when we went to Palm Beach with Aunt Liza," he stated. He took the photo. "I didn't even know you still had this. I forgot what Aunt Liza looked like," he stated. "You know, Mom and Dad would take this, right? They got rid of all our photos with her because, I know, Aunt Liza and Mom were mad at each other. I still loved her, you know. Is it wrong for me to still love our aunt, even after what she did?" he asked. "She murdered people, Dylan," Jordan told him. "I know," Dylan stated. Jordan handed him back the photo. "Come on, let's go outside, huh?" he asked. Dylan put the photo away, hiding it inside a book. "Yeah, sounds good," he said, leaving the room. Elsewhere, we see Peter walking down the street with little Dina as they entered the store. A person passed by them as they looked to see Grace at the counter. "Good morning, Grace," Peter greeted her. "Good morning, you two. How are you doing, Dina?" she asked. Dina smiled. "I'm okay. School is hard," the 7-year-old said. Grace smiled. "Yeah? You making any friends?" she asked. "I did," she said. "That's great. Are you hungry?" she asked. Dina nodded her head. "Well, I got a special treat for you. Here, chocolate chip cookies," she said, handing her one. "What do we say, Dina?" he asked. "Thank you, the little girl screamed. "You're very welcome," she said. "Wow, they smell better and better every day," Peter complimented her. "Thank you. Yeah, Benjamin and the council really made sure we had everything we needed to get the bakery running again," she revealed. "It definitely helps the town's mood." "How is Sarah?" she asked. "Good," he told her. "Thanks to her, they're finally going to have the flower shop ready," he said, as Dina continued to munch on her cookie. "How about you? I hear you're running the displacement center," she asked. "Technically, Benjamin runs it. I just manage it for him while he's gone," he told her. "That's nice of you. You come bring a lot of people there?" she asked. "More than you know. Whole families, some without any more," he told her. "That's awful. But at least they have you to help them," she said. "Yeah, I guess," he said, not convinced. "What is it?" she asked. "I don't know. We find a lot of people out there and bring them in, but not all of them are good. We've had to send some people away who wouldn't cooperate. I can't imagine, but you have to do it, otherwise we wouldn't be safe in here," she said. "It's not just that. Sometimes I'm worried what'll happen if we bring in the wrong kind of person to the city," he told her, a little nervous. "Yeah, well, I have to get going. Sorry to cut this short," he told her. "Oh, no worries. I'll see you later. Bye, Dina," she waved. "Bye," the little girl said as Peter waved her off. Elsewhere, Manny and Chris were cleaning some of the weapons in the armory. How long do you think all this ammo will last us? He asked. Not sure. It's almost as much as back home. Military sure left a lot of supplies behind. They ditched the city, Chris stated. Well, at least our taxpayer money finally paid off in the end, he laughed. The door opened as Carla stepped inside the room, holding something. Hey, Manny. Chris, you busy? I want to talk, she asked. Of course, beautiful. What's on your mind? He asked. She pulled out a notebook. I guess we don't need Obadiah and the others, she said. Why? What's on your mind, Carla? He asked. I've been thinking. What can you both tell me about your old community? She asked. Manny and Chris were surprised. Why do you want to know now? He asked. Well, I know you told me some stuff last year, but I wanted to get more information if you were up for it, she said. Trust me, the less you know about that horrible place, the better, Chris said. Chris, I'm not a little girl. You don't have to protect me. I can protect myself, she said. He's right, though. There's no good that can come from anything we say, Manny told her. Maybe not, but I have a feeling there's a lot of bad that can come from it, she warned. You guys came from an advanced community. Everyone has a right to know, don't you think? She asked. But where's Benjamin, though? Shouldn't he be here for this? He asked. Benjamin's busy. This isn't about making a decision. It's about learning where you guys came from, and that place. After that, then we'll take it to Benjamin and Rachel. Let me ask you guys something. Do you think your old community is still out there? She asked. The men looked at each other. Definitely. Without a doubt. General Miles was a ruthless man. Later, Carla found Sean relaxing, sitting on a bench. She sat down next to him. Hey, what's that? He asked about the journal. It's nothing. You seem to be having fun, she said. Yeah, this place has really been improving in the last year. They watched children play with the dogs on a lawn, as well as Grace holding her baby daughter. Little Andrea is getting bigger, he said. Never thought we'd ever have this again, she confessed. Yeah, it's worth all the trauma and screaming nights, he stated. Sorry, too much? He asked. Just a little, yeah, she told him. Meanwhile, in the City Hall building, Rachel was sitting down at an office table with Peter and Pat. That's a good idea. Are they ready, though? She asked. Not yet. A lot of these people need to be taught from scratch how to fight. Our community doesn't have a lot of skilled fighters with training. A lot of the people are not ready, he stated. If they're not taking training seriously, then they shouldn't have enlisted in the program, Patrick warned him. That's a little harsh. A lot of these people are just trying to provide for their families. It's not their fault, Peter said. No, it isn't. But Patrick is right. If people are not ready for what's out there, then they should consider a new job and way to provide for themselves. We don't need untrained or incompetent people as our line of defense. They're more good to us helping in small jobs alive than being walker fodder with a gun, Rachel said. Damn. Girls learned a lot, Patrick complimented her. It's not perfect, but no society is. And if we're going to start one back up again, then we have to make things right. It's not always fair, but it's what's right, she said. I thought we were going to try building a better world, Peter asked. That will take time and more supplies. We also don't have enough bite-proof vests and suits for everyone. We might need to ask Benjamin and the others to get more of them when he's out there, Peter offered. And our gasoline from the CRM is almost completely all gone at this point. We've tried to ration it, but we have no way or plans of getting any more. By next month, we'll only have horse carriages, told her. Let's focus on keeping everyone safe and fed. Once we do that, we can worry about how to fix our gas situation, she said. Maybe we can talk to Cliff more, lend more farmhands, and utilize more land on the farm. They still have dozens of untouched acres of sustainable land, he stated. As do we, Patrick stated. But what about our emergency care? We're also in dire need. Gonna need more doctors. People have been complaining about the lines, he stated. Rachel listened on, powering through the stressful meeting. At nighttime, we see a lone man walking up to a random house wearing a black uniform. He pulls out a set of keys. The man entered the house, opening the door and going inside. The soldier in black CRM armor was inside the house. As the lights turned on and Sean greeted him. Sean was eating some popcorn while giving some to Merle. You're late, Sean told him. He took off his helmet, revealing Benjamin. I know, I'm sorry. There were more people in the displacement center than we planned for. I had non-stop interviews all day, he said, exhausted. I would hug you, but take a shower first. You smell terrible, he told him. Thanks, he said, bending down and petting Merle. Merle could use a bath, though. I see you didn't get to that while I was gone, Benjamin told him. He smells fine, Sean told him. Cologne doesn't count as a bath, he said. Several minutes later, Benjamin plopped down on the couch, exhausted, as he laid back down. These days are getting longer. A whole year and there's still so much to do, he said. Sounds like you could use a break, Sean told him. Benjamin laughed. Ha! Yeah, right. Like, when am I ever going to have time for that? He said. Did I miss anything while I was gone? He asked. Yeah, I played basketball with Jordan and Tyler, and I think Obadiah is almost a pastor now, he said, joking. No, not anything serious, he asked. Why, do you need an excuse or something? There's nothing going on, Benjamin. We're safe here. We've been safe for the last year, he told him. Okay, well, you can never be too careful, he said. We have so many people now. I never have time to relax, he told him. Or spend time with Rachel, Sean said back. What? What? Sean said sarcastically. Benjamin stood up, sighing. I guess we haven't had a date in a while. You guys have been working your asses. Language, he told him. Sorry, butts off. You guys seriously need a break, he told him. I know, Benjamin said. I mean, you guys were getting really close last year. I know, Benjamin said. I mean, you guys were... I know, Sean. I mean, I knew she was skinny, but Rachel had more than what I thought, he said. Okay, Sean, stop, Benjamin said, not liking where Sean was going with it. Oh, sorry, he said. But I meant what I said. You guys are right for each other. Spend some time with her. No work. What are you two waiting for? He asked. You're totally right. I'll talk to Rachel tomorrow morning. Thanks, he said. You're welcome, bro, he said back. But first, we need to have a talk about something else, he told him. What do we have to talk about? Sean asked, curious. Well, about those dreams you've been having, Benjamin told him. My father had a similar talk with me when I was a teenager. I'll try to make it less awkward for you. In the other house, Rachel comes back as the door swings open, with Tyler letting her inside. Another late night, he said, annoyed. I know, I'm sorry, she told him. You gotta stop having all these late nights. You keep going like this, you'll be a walking dead, he told her. Wow, nice to see you too, she said. Sorry, but it's been really boring without you, her younger brother said. You spend all day, every day in that office. How often do you eat? He asked. I ate this morning, she told him. Oh my God, he said, heading to the kitchen. I'm gonna get you something before you starve, he told her. Sometime later, the two of them were at the table as Rachel finished her food. Thank you for looking out for me. I guess things have gotten kind of crazy lately. The hospital really needs more doctors, and Patrick is trying to make himself mayor. Politics is not easy, she said. Rachel, can I ask you something? He said. Of course. What's wrong? She asked. If you and Benjamin are still together, then why don't you guys spend time with each other? He asked. Rachel was really taken aback with that question. She was not expecting it. Well, Tyler, we've been pretty busy. I'm running the council with Peter and Patrick, and Benjamin needs to go out there and bring people and supplies back for us, she told him. There's still a lot of work to be done. Doesn't a relationship also need work, Rachel? He asked, surprising her again. Okay, yes, of course, but it's complicated, she said. Don't you love each other? Why is it complicated then? He asked back. Well, she was tongue-tied. Rachel, you deserve to be happy. Both of you do. I appreciate you looking after me when I was younger. The town appreciates all that you've done. But you're doing it again. You're not living for yourself. Benjamin makes you happy. And I want to see you happy, he told her. You deserve to be happy too, he finished. Rachel smiled and took his hand. Thank you. I'll talk to him tomorrow, she finished. The next day, in the morning, Rachel stepped out of her house when she saw Benjamin standing right there in front of her. Good morning, hon, he said, kissing her. Rachel was surprised. Oh, Benjamin, I thought you were heading to the dam early, she asked. I was, but I really wanted to see you before I took off, he told her. He took her hands. Can we sit down for a minute? He said. Yeah, of course, she said, setting her bag down. Thanks. I know you have to head to work, but I feel like I owe you an apology. Again, he told her. For what? She asked. For always being out there, doing whatever. We haven't spent a lot of time together lately because we've both been working so hard helping everyone get this place back in working order, he said. But I've been busy, just like you. We're in a relationship, so if you're going to blame yourself, I deserve half of it. I could have also taken a break just like you could, but I didn't, she said. Yeah, but I'm the man. I need to set the example, he told her. Being here is just reminding me of back home, and I have been putting you off for too long. The community is safe, so why don't we enjoy ourselves? Just the two of us. One day, no work, sometime next week. Next Friday? Have a day for ourselves, he asked. Wow, really? That sounds lovely, she asked. You think so? Not too short notice, he asked. No, honestly, I need it really bad. One day of no complaining, requests, or Patrick's constant know-it-all attitude sounds heavenly, she said. You need me to give him a talking to? I'll get him to back off, he said. No, thank you. I'll handle it. I hate for him to wind up in the hospital, she said. Okay, well, I'll let it go for you, hon, since you asked me to. Rachel kissed him. We'll talk more. I'll see you when you get back, she said. Yeah, sounds perfect, he said. Be safe, Rachel said. For you, always, he said as the two departed. Meanwhile, Manny was walking with Carla. See you when you get back, she said before they kissed. Don't annoy Benjamin too much, okay, she asked. No promises, my lady, he said, departing. He makes it to the church as inside Obadiah is reading his Bible. Hey, bud, how's the reading coming along? Very good, praise God. A few more weeks and I'll finally be able to do Sunday services for everyone, he said. Well, took you long enough, he told him. Being a pastor can't be overnight. It takes years of studying, he informed him. Yeah, he said, when Benjamin appeared from behind, entering the church. Hey, guys, he greeted them. Oh, hey, boss, ready to leave for the dam? He asked. Almost. Hey, Obadiah, he said, turning to him. You got a minute? He asked. Of course, Benjamin. What is it? He asked. Well, I wanted to talk to you in private, actually, he told him. Oh, okay, sure. 1 week later, Benjamin and Rachel ride on their horses as they pass by several patrolmen. It's so nice out here, she told him. Thank you for this, by the way. It feels good to be out here again, she told him. Of course. We've been so cooped up in the community for the last year we haven't had the chance to have some fun. I'm in my 20s, and I think I'm already getting gray from everything, he told her, making Rachel laugh. You did an amazing job back there, Rachel. After we got to the city, you blew everyone away at handling the workload. Honestly, I don't know how you do it, with the meetings and files. I'm sorry I didn't help more, he told her. No, don't be sorry. Your job, getting supplies and finding people, is just as important. And it's what you're good at. If you don't want to do politics, that's perfectly fine, she complimented him. The community wouldn't be where it is right now if it wasn't for you. Carla and Jose got the dam working, and I guess we both have been pretty busy, he told her. Yeah, we sure were. Maybe too busy, she said, as Benjamin noticed that. You're right. I'm sorry. I just really don't want this place to fall too, he stated. The young couple finally reached a checkpoint on the road as Benjamin quickly got off his horse. Here we are. Benjamin helped Rachel off her horse. Thank you. So, where is here actually? She asked. I don't want to tell you. It's a surprise, he told her. Thank you, Benjamin said, handing the horse reins to the patrolman. We've got a small hike. Apologies in advance, he said. That's fine, she said. I could use a good hike. Some time later, Rachel was breathing heavily as she was walking uphill. A small hike, you said? She said, exhausted. Well, it is small. For me, he told her. You're unbelievable, she said. I did apologize before we started. Besides, don't worry, we're almost there, hon, he told her. Trust me, it'll be worth it, he said. As they finally got to the top, Rachel was beyond tired. I think I'm dying, Rachel said as Benjamin helped her to the top. We're here, sweetheart, he said, setting her down. Rachel took several deep breaths, unlike her boyfriend. So please tell me what is so important up here, because I'd rather be doing paperwork, she said before stopping. She looked and saw the sun, as it was in the beginning of the sunset. Wow, the view was beautiful, she said. I know. Not as much as you, but yeah, Benjamin smiled. I've been coming here a few times through the year. The view was amazing as the sun was starting to set. The colors were a blend of beautiful orange, yellow, green, and brown. It was summer, but everything looked so different up here. It looked like they were really high up, no dead for miles. Guess the high walk up here is too much for them. So why are we here? She asked. I'm glad you asked, because I have another surprise for you, he told her. Benjamin pulled out a basket from the bush. Hungry? He asked. Not long afterwards, Benjamin and Rachel finished their food sitting down as they continued to stare at the amazing view. It's funny. Right here. Seems like the world didn't end 3 years ago, you know? She asked. Yeah, it's nice up here. Free. Thank you for bringing me here, Rachel stated. No, thank you, Rachel. I was looking forward to this for a while, just didn't know when was a good time, he told her. For a beautiful picnic on a hilltop? She asked. Oh, hold on, he said, going around her, gently placing his hands over her hands and moving them to her eyes. What are you doing? Rachel laughed. All right, keep your eyes closed, hon, he said. Why? What's going on? She asked, interested. Trust me, he said, kissing the back of her head. Okay. Well, you better not shove some food in my face or something, she warned. What, me? Never, he said, moving away. All right, open, he said. Rachel opened her eyes, seeing Benjamin holding a CD player. Benjamin put it down to the ground and popped it open, with Rachel asking what he was doing. As the disc was in, a song was beginning to play on the player, as Benjamin slowly walked up towards her. May I have this dance? He asked, offering his hand. I don't know how to dance, she said nervously. That's okay. Neither do I, he said truthfully. Rachel slowly took his hand as Benjamin lifted her off her feet. Rachel and Benjamin both stood up and proceeded to gently grab onto each other as the song continued in the background. They started slowly as Rachel was nervous, not knowing what to do. Okay, just like that, he said as he rocked her back and forth. He made sure to watch his feet so he wouldn't step on hers as they slowly spinned around the hilltop together. The sun covered them, shining so much light on them they glowed. Her arms were on Benjamin's shoulders, as his were on her waist. Am I doing okay? She asked. You're perfect, he told her. They continued to dance as the song echoed on. Rachel began to smile as she was letting the music and Benjamin take her. She wasn't nervous anymore. She laughed, giggling, as Benjamin followed, unable to hold it in as they moved their feet. She would think back to all the things they've experienced. Where would she be right now if it wasn't for him? She never would have met Benjamin if the world didn't end. She placed her head on his chest as the dancing got slower. Benjamin gently placed his hands securely over her head as they both smiled and embraced each other through the song. Rachel closed her eyes, thinking back to all the times they were together. They were the happiest times of her entire life, but they didn't compare to this one moment right now. Benjamin would think back to all the times he nearly lost his mind, but the one and only thing that brought him back to sanity in the cruel world was his thoughts of Rachel. Rachel lifted her head as he looked and stared right back at her. They didn't break eye contact as the song was nearing the end. Benjamin and Rachel kissed as she wrapped her arms around him as they finished their dance. When the song ended, Benjamin and Rachel stopped and laughed, completely happy. I can't keep my eyes off you either, she told him. Despite everything that's happened to us, I'm glad you found me that day. Despite the whole world being gone, I'm glad it saved me you, she told him. Benjamin smiled. I feel the same way, Rachel. Being with you makes me forget about my old life. I love spending time with you, more than anyone in the world. Every time I'm with you, I feel calm, but also nervous, but in the best way. You bring out the best person in me. You're the most amazing person I ever met. You've grown so much since we first met, and I fell in love with you even more throughout the years we've known each other and everything we've gone through. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. I kept pushing things aside, but now that we're in a safe place again, I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to waste another second of the life I have left, he stated, before reaching his arm behind his pocket. You gave me your mother's ring all those years ago, so I would never forget you. But I don't need it anymore, because I want to give it back to you. I want you to have it as yours, Rachel. I would give my life for you if I had to. You're kind, strong, smart, and you've helped me through all the traumas I've had, and you've never turned your back on me. I know this is sudden, and I know I don't deserve you, but I want to be there for you every single day until the day I die. I can't think of a better person and way to spend the rest of my life. I love you, Rachel Thompson. Will you marry me? He asked. Rachel was dead silent as she took the ring from his fingers. She stared back into his eyes. Yes, she said. Benjamin smiled. Taking her hands, he laughed in complete happiness. The both of them laughed as they embraced in a heartwarming hug. One week later, back in Huntington, we see everyone inside the church all dressed nicely, as in the front stage was the young couple standing in front of each other, as Obadiah was wearing an officiate suit. He stood before him. The couple will now profess their vows to one another, he told the crowd. Benjamin took Rachel's hands. Rachel, you have accepted me for everything that I am, all the good and all the bad. I want to be there for you always through our times of joy and struggle, always putting you before myself, knowing you made me a better man. My heart is yours. You are my reason for living. I love you more than life itself, and I always will. I accept you as my wife. Next was Rachel's turn. Benjamin, you have been there for me since the day we met. You protected me in my times of need. You loved me when others wouldn't. You gave me your heart and showed me that I was somebody worth loving, and because of you I'm happy. I give you my heart, my counsel. Whatever comes our way, I will never leave your side. I am yours forever. I accept you as my husband. Obadiah stepped forward. Benjamin Jameson Hunter, do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? Until death do you part? He asked. I do, he replied. And do you, Rachel Marie Thompson, take this man as your lawfully wedded husband until death do you part? He asked. I do, she said as Tyler, Sean, Carla, and everyone else looked on. Then by the power invested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride, he said, as Benjamin gently took her face before leaning closer. He kisses Rachel on the lips as everyone clapped and cheered. On the walls, a large group of men, nearly 20, were keeping watch as the dead tried to break the walls down. They were failing miserably as the guards looked, seeing people on carriages coming down the road, coming closer. Outside, everyone looked on as Carla saw and was hugged by Angela. So sorry I came late. We had problems on the road, she told her. No worries. Glad you're okay. It's good to see you again, she told her. She then saw Ethan with his arm missing. Hi, Ethan. It's good to see you again. How are you holding up? She asked. Good, thank you. I'm still feeling my fingers, but I take this over being dead any day, he said. Well, come on. Let's eat, she said, bringing them in. At the table, Sean was talking with his friend when he saw Carla and Manny as the two of them kissed. I'll be right back, he said. Hey, Carla, he called out. Hey, Sean, what's up? She asked. Well, looks like you and Manny for one thing, he said. Ha ha, she said. This is unbelievable. Everyone really pitched in for this, he told her. You mean the wedding? She asked. Yeah, I mean, how crazy is this? We're actually in the wedding. Grace made a cake for them, and Benjamin's in a suit, and Rachel in a dress. I doubt anyone has ever gotten married after the world ended. And if they did, I doubt they did it like this, he told her. Yeah, I agree. Something feels off. But in a good way. Like we're actually having a happy moment for once. No living out there trying to kill us, no horde of infected marching down our doorstep. It's just peaceful, she said. At another table, Patrick and his family were all sitting down. Charlotte smiled, looking at the happy guests and couple. Isn't this just wonderful, boys? She asked. She looked, seeing that Adrian and Kat were enjoying themselves, smiling, but Patrick and William looked down. What's the matter, you two? She asked. It's just that this celebration is a massive amount of resources down the drain. It should have went into helping better the community, he said, annoyed. But Mr. Wright, it is helping the community. Benjamin and Rachel are two head leaders of the town. They deserve this. And as I recall, wasn't everyone more than willing to contribute to it? She asked. They're members of the head council, not the head leaders of the city. Like I said, waste. This will push the community back a lot, he stated. Relax, Dad. This is just what everyone needs to forget out the outside world. I mean, when was the last time any of us have been to an actual wedding? I feel like everyone's forgotten, he told him. Those two are very sweet. A lovely way to propose to a sweet girl, she said. Perhaps you could have done it the same way, dear, she asked. Oh yeah, that's right, Adrian said. Why? Kat asked. Dad's proposal to Mom was terrible, wasn't it, Dad? He asked. It wasn't terrible. It was from my heart, he defended. Yeah. If I don't marry you, I'll never get married. His wife laughed. Adrian laughed as well before noticing his brother getting up and leaving. He chased after him. Hey, bro! He stopped him. What's wrong? You barely said anything since the ceremony, he said. Sorry. It's just Dad has Mom, and you have Kat. Benjamin and Rachel have each other. I'm 28 and still have nobody, he said. Relax, bro. Any woman will be lucky to have you. Come on, I'll introduce you to some, he said to his brother, smiling, as they walked away together. Carla looked at the young couple and took a glass. She raised it up. Everyone! Everyone! She screamed, as Sean and Tyler noticed. They also were helping her get everyone's attention. Everyone, listen! Everyone, hey! There was silence as everyone looked at Carla. Thank you. I just wanted to say that everyone here deserves this amazing day. This moment of peace with our friends and family. But no one, absolutely no one deserves it more than the young married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin and Rachel Hunter. You two deserve each other. You deserve all the happiness in the world. You two helped get us all here. You two have worked blood, sweat, and sleepless nights, keeping us safe and building this community. You two have fought so hard and did the impossible so many times. You two, despite the world ending, found each other and are starting a new chapter in your lives. You guys worked so hard to build a future, and now we're here witnessing that part of it. We're gonna take this world back, and it's because of you two. You guys are my best friends. I love you both. To the Hunters, she said, as everyone cheered on, making them smile. Benjamin and Rachel continued to sit, holding hands, when Rachel gave Benjamin a plate. Let's try some of the cake Grace made for us, she said, excited. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I'm not really a cake guy. I have a figure to maintain, remember? He joked. Oh no, you are so eating it. It's our wedding day, she said. Am I now? He asked. Carla saw and stepped in. Oh no, is he not going to eat some freaking cake? I guess I can force it down. Hold him for me. Sean, Tyler, come here. We need your help. Your big bro's being stubborn, she said. Oh yeah? You're really going to try this? Trust me, Carla. It won't end well for you, he said when a little cake was shoved in his face, smearing his mouth. Benjamin didn't say a word as Carla and everyone laughed. Rachel was laughing too, as Benjamin realized it was her that did it. Oh, you're gonna get it now, he said, getting closer. Don't you dare get cake on this dress, she said when he quickly kissed her, getting cake on her as well. Carla and the boys laughed as Rachel could be heard complaining how he got the cake on her clothes. At nighttime, Benjamin and Rachel were inside their bedroom as the two of them got closer. They started kissing as the two of them held each other closely. The young couple would think back to their intimate moment from last year in the random house on the road. Despite everything that happened, when they were with each other in each other's arms, they felt safe. Rachel gently placed her hand on Benjamin's chest. I love you, he said. I know you do, she said. So show me, she said as she wrapped her arms around his neck tightly. She lay down on the bed as Benjamin kissed her again slowly, gently going on top of her. The two of them continued to remove the remaining pieces of clothing as they proceeded to get more intimate and physical as their breathing became more heavy. They were fully embracing each other as husband and wife, holding on to each other tightly as they let themselves fall into each other completely. Elsewhere, far away, we see an officer walking past a dimly lit hallway. She was dressed in a very clean military suit, very blue. As she walked past another soldier, he saluted her. Commander Brooks, what can I do for you? He asked. Corporal, mind telling me where Captain Dellis is? The general wanted me to get him, she asked. He said he had some important business with the prisoners down the lower levels, ma'am, the soldier told her. She signed. Of course, he's down there, doing his hobbies. Honestly, if he did field work just as much, he'd get promoted, she said. She walked past him and continued on. Inside a dark cell was an officer eating a steak as he smacked his lips. Damn, you gotta hand it to those Amish. They know how to raise their meat, he said in front of a man who was tied to a chair. Blood was dripping down his legs. His legs were completely off, just stumps. The man looked awful and pale, dirty with long hair. You know, this was fun for the first few days, but after a while, it got boring pretty fast. I mean, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing, but I suppose I'm not innocent here either. Sometimes people just need to know when to stop, you know? All your people are dead. They became rot or chow. It's just you now. No one is coming to save you. You see, a lot of my guys think you're just crazy, and to be fair, I do too. But there's something else. Something you're not telling me. Next to the man was a camera that kept blinking red. It was recording him. You mentioned something about a black wolf you encountered a year ago. You said this black wolf killed your men, but the way you described him, I figured it was a metaphor. I'm guessing he didn't have fur on him. Why don't you tell me about him? He asked. What has you so scared? He asked. Keith wouldn't say anything. The man put down his food. Listen to me. I don't give a shit about you or your people. That much I made perfectly clear. But what I do care about is where you met this guy, because it's my job to know. I'd like to meet him too. From the way you've talked about him, you're afraid of him, but you'd be a lot more afraid of me, because I don't care for lives, not in the slightest. People die. They'll always die, no matter what. So why waste energy on feeling sad about it? Nothing matters other than fighting for what you believe in. And what I believe in is that only the strong survive in this cruel world. The others mentioned a hydro dam. My men have been checking them all, but with no luck. Some didn't even come back. Why don't you tell us which one it is, Heath? Or is it Keith? Honestly, I don't give a shit. Those names are terrible anyways, he said. You go there, and the black wolf will kill you too, he said. Well, that's just your shit opinion. It won't matter to you, will it? Tell me where he is, he demanded. Keith nodded as the man untied one of his hands. This one, he said, pointing at the map. Finally, you see? That wasn't so hard, was it? He asked, getting up. He stepped outside of the room, leaving Keith. Suddenly he heard growling. But this will be, he said, tossing a walker into the room. Keith screamed as the man watched. Hey, smile for the camera, okay? He said as the walker got inside the cell. Keith was screaming as the walker bit into his shoulder. The zombie continued to munch on him as massive amounts of blood dropped down, as the sounds of flesh tearing grew louder and louder. Dallas watched as he was being devoured, as they continued to watch, playing the camera. So much for him. Well, that was fun. Shame it's over now, he said before turning as he saw Commander Brooks. Ma'am, he said. Well, I suppose we can add this to your twisted collection. I certainly hope you were doing something useful for once, she said. Oh, I was. I have something for the general, he told her. What is it? She asked. A lead on this black wolf, he said as everything cut to black.